Broadcasting to you from a little grass shack in the middle of the Pacific.
Live in the place to be.
Well, they're actually in the Bay Area.
Yeah,
but they are the premier Pacifica show that shines a spotlight on positive Pacific Islanders.
You listening to the sound.
Role models coming brown every Thursday night at 6.
East to west, we getting heard.
Brought to you by Pacifica by Design. It's the iconic Faika podcast with your hosts, Naki and Carl.
What's up, Naki?
What's up?
It's well, you know, I'm over here on the coast
Yeah.
of Fort Bragg. I'm in my mom's kitchen. That's the what is there? Where's the octopus is up there.
Yes.
So my dad's with us. Let's see. We have season 7, episode 39 of the FICA podcast today.
Yippee.
We got football news, bad week last week. We don't care about the rest of the league, but the two teams that matter had rough weeks. We are going to talk about Naki covered the Samoan Solutions 15-year gala. We got pictures and stories to tell about that. And in the back half, we have Jaiyah Saelau, and this is great timing because Taika Waititi's movie's coming up middle of this month.
November 17th. So we're excited.
Naki landed this interview. That's in the back half of the show, and that's our show tonight. Naki, what's up?
Hey, so like Carl said, hi Nona. Nona's checking in.
Hey, Nona.
Nona Saelau.
Yeah, the Saelau family.
Who is related to everyone. Let me just tell you, the Saelau family, Nona and Lexi and their mama, they all the time I go, oh, do you know so-and-so? And they go, oh, yeah, it's my first cousin. I was like, I swear. and all the time I see Nona, I go, girl, you related to everybody. And then Jaiyah Saelau, who is our guest today, I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together. And then Lexi, who is her sister, shares the flyer, and I go, duh.
Of course
related. Of course. So we're excited to have our guests coming on in the second half of the show this week. Hey, PJ's tuned in. Poor PJ. We went to, and I say poor PJ because I beat him out of the pineapple pie.
Uh-oh.
Pineapple pies, and we'll get to that. So this week, that's last week, Samoan Solutions celebrated 15 years of amazing work, community heart work that I get all teary, that they've been doing for the last 15 years. And they started with Fanga and Epi and Mona, who is in Samoa, and Dallas Teo. And then, of course, Ace Tango had a whole idea, which their Le Malta community space, their big room is called the Ace Tango space area. So we went to the Mo and me and my baby daddy went to the 15-year celebration, which was so beautiful and so well thought out. I mean, they hit everything. The food was amazing. Of course, I'm going to talk about the food. And then they had the red carpet event, which we were there to cover some and took pictures and interviewed a few of the community leaders there. Everyone looked stunning, and they had a silent auction that was going on, and so you got to bid on artwork that was donated by Pacifica artists. They had clothing that was donated by Pacifica, what are you, artists, and artists like Levasa donated clothes. Mobligated had a fashion show there, and then PJ was there, who was the recipient of last year's turkey trot. Every year at Samoan Solutions 5K Turkey Trot, they raise money for a organization in the Bay Area, and last year it was PJ and his family. Every year for the last, I think, 15 to 20 years, PJ and his family feed the community during Thanksgiving. and mostly homeless or people that are in shelters. And so they did a really great job. He got up and spoke about Samoan Solutions. They had a lot of speakers. Their board members were there, and they each did a SIVA, which I loved. And so it was a really, really good event. Oh, dang it. I had pictures. I have pictures. So here we have Epi, who is one of the founders, and Fanga. And then in the middle is Cassandra's mom, who, by the way, Cassandra was a guest on our show, Cassandra Stanley. This is her mother, who looks like her sister, right? And so this was Cassandra's first time emceeing anything, and she did such a great job. She was professional. She was like, you couldn't tell. I mean, if she was nervous, you couldn't tell. So she did a great job, and we were so proud of her, so proud of her. And so here we have, Flip It Girl, Leah Falava, and her husband, Ty, and then their friend. And Leah donated a package of Flip It Girl items, earrings and artwork and pictures that she had taken throughout her, her what is it, travels.
Mm-hmm. The
So
Fiji and Samoa.
in Samoa, pictures, and then she had coasters that she had made. So she donated that, and it was auctioned off, and she looks stunning. And then here's Cassandra and her mom. So Cassandra was the MC for the night, and like I said, she did a great job. So big kudos to her.
You know what, Neki? What was interesting is when I facilitated J2E, a couple months ago, Cassandra was saying that she wanted to work on her public speaking, right?
Yeah.
And to see her just dive in head first, get in there, swing the bat, and hear that she was the MC. And of course, she did a great job. When she was talking, I was like, this girl is gonna, but it's that intentional. Like, I want to become better at public speaking. Yeah. So I'm gonna put myself in places that I might feel uncomfortable in. You couldn't tell. You could never tell that she's uncomfortable, but she's a somebody. It reminds me of our Lulu. Who has become just a very confident, much more confident public speaker. So it's great seeing the younger generation kind of step into those roles.
Yeah, so she did a really great job. So kudos to her. Behind the Lava is checking in on Facebook.
Michael Tan, I assume.
Michael Tan. We have D-Boy, who's back from Samoa. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. And so here is PJ, who we were talking about, who was the recipient of last year's Samoan Solutions fundraiser. And then, of course, Aisha, Auntie John. Emily tuned in. Emily. Hey, Emily.
Niece Emily. Yeah. That's a pair right there.
Right.
That is a pair right there in that picture.
I know. So PJ and Auntie John, Aisha.
PJ came. He did not disappoint with the outfit. We always want to see what PJ's going to wear on the red carpet.
He looked awesome. Epi is tuning in. Thank you, Epi. I'm sharing a few pictures from your celebration that we went to last week. And so Auntie Dot is tuned in on Facebook.
Oh, hey, Auntie Dot. Shout out to my mama. I'm in her kitchen right now at her kitchen table. We'll talk about where she's at. She's in the hospital right now, but she wanted to tune in. So we went over with my work computer, set that up, and Malia's there. 5 is there, making sure that that she can hear and see, and I assume Emily is there as well. So the hospital is having a good time with the Faika podcast.
I love it. D-Boy's on Facebook. My body is here, but my mind is still in Samundo.
That happens. That
happens for a long time. And so then this is Samoan Solutions volunteers, and of course Cassandra's there, and the team, really, because this is Epi's two daughters, and then this young gentleman was helping, run errands and stuff like that. So I just wanted to shout out the youngsters that were there, young adults that were there, helping and volunteering and just doing everything. The girls did a tawalunga representing their mother, who is, of course, one of the board members for Samoan Solutions. Definitely. And then, of course, like I said, Mobligated was there, and they did a fashion show. The youngsters did a fashion show of Mobligated's gear. So it was really nice to see the young adults out there, and we know that they're going to be doing a lot of community work and modeling, possibly, because they were doing that. They was doing the runway like
They're working it.
yeah, they was working it. So they did a really great job. And then let me just go back. They did a really great job. Mama Getty had donated some stuff, and then there was a silent auction. Of course, at the end of the night, Fanga announced all the winners of the items, and so Mo, who goes out, we see there's pies, there was pierogies, there was food, of course, and then paintings and clothing and jewelry and baskets, and everyone in the community donated items for the fundraising. And so Mo goes out to close to the closing of the auction, and he goes out and he goes to what is it? Put a bid on the pies. And then he comes back and he sits down, right? And then PJ, who's sitting on the right of me, he says, Auntie Naki, he says something, but I couldn't hear it. And everybody around us starts laughing. And then I look at Mo and he's laughing, and I go, what did he say? And he goes, he's talking about the pies. And I go, what pies? And he goes, the pineapple pies. PJ bid, he was the last bid on the pies. And then Mo went in there and undercut him or overcut him, and then he didn't put his name, he puts my name. So then PJ was not happy with me that day. He was not happy because we won the pies, right? So then at the end of the evening, you go collect your items and pay for your items. Mo grabs the pies and he goes to the car. He takes us to the car, and I was like, all righty then. Everybody's like, hey man, where's the pies? They're individually wrapped. You could share. I said, Mo took off to the car. You gotta go hunt him down. But it was so much fun. The event was so much fun. They showed videos because Mona, who is currently living in American Samoa, she tuned in with the video, which was really nice. Dallas Teo, who was also one of the founding members, he sent a video congratulating them. And then the artist that painted the mural that is in the back of the Ace Tungo room. Mm-hmm. He tuned in. Epi said he didn't make contact with anyone. He took his pie straight to the car.
Mo's been around the block. He knows how that goes. You better really get out.
He took off. And then, of course, I'm standing there. I'm taking pictures. I'm talking to everybody. And then, like, every other person's like, where's those pies? Where's those pies? Mo's in the parking lot. But the evening was so much fun, and I loved being there, and I loved watching and hearing their story, to see where they started to now 15 years later, where they have their own community space. Le Malta is a community space that everyone in the community uses. Like, that space is getting used. And so I love where they are now. I love the space that they've created, the work that they're doing. Their turkey trot is coming up pretty soon, which we'll talk about that. We'll be providing food again. This will be our second year of feeding the runners and the walkers and the hanging outers, which is me.
Now we know what we're doing. We've done it one year. We had no idea what we were doing last year, but we did it. Now we know a little bit.
It was so much fun. So yeah, it was a great event. So congratulations to them in their 15 years of amazing work. So big shout out to Samoan Solutions. And then me and Mo, I guess we took off with our pies, and we still have pies left. Like, who can eat? Like, I could eat like half of a half. And so I've been eating a pie all week, and I'm like all pie.
Oh, kalofai, poor you. I'm sure that's not that bad of an ordeal.
I know, and they're so good. So whoever made those pies, which I have the name, but I'm going to go grab it before the night ends. But it was a really great event. And then we went to, we seen some friends at a friend's celebration of life. And it was a really happy, nice event celebrating her life, Tina Lay. So we did that. Mo got to see his friends that he went to high school with at this event. So here's the picture of Rene Mongolay. So it's Pastor Rene, but he hung out with Mo back in the day. So now he's Pastor Rene. Very nice guy. Go check him out in the city. And then this is Danny Lay. They all went to Balboa High,
Mm.
and they're OGs. And so that's Mo and his old
Well, too
friends.
many O's in that.
It's a lot of
They're
O's, a lot of
double
O's.
OGs.
Double, triple OGs, triple OGs. And then this is Jethro. We call him Jethro. He flew in from um, Colorado, and I hadn't seen him in years, and I was so happy to hug his face. His mother and my dad are cousins, and so it was good to see him. Do I have any other pictures? No, just the old people. So I think that's it. Yep, just the old people. So sorry,
That's
guys.
not Mo's in the picture. That's not the old people.
Yeah, no. So there you go. That pretty much, and then work, and I got to hang out with TT last night, and we went to a late dinner, and at Iron Cast or Cast Iron, wherever we go eat. So yeah,
Cast
so
iron, I think.
yes, it was good. So the night was good. I'm excited to talk to Jaiyah when she logs in. But how was your? Well, I know a little bit about your weeks, but go ahead and tell us about your week.
So last Thursday, just before the show, like literally pulling into the parking lot last week to do the show, I'm pulling in the parking lot, getting ready to head up to the studio, and I know I was in the parking lot. I don't think Naki's even pulled up yet. My sister had called, and my mom had been admitted to ICU. Um, so there was kind of the thought of like, well, do I do the show? And I obviously hadn't packed to leave from the studio. So my one of my sons, Nainoa, is our producer. He was in the studio, and my other son, Ty, packed me up and brought all my clothes and my work stuff and everything that I needed. So I left the studio last week after the show and drove uh, to Fort Bragg. I'm in Fort Bragg right now. Um, Went and checked in on my mom on Thursday night. She was not doing well in ICU. She's been stabilized at this point. She's moved into her own room, so she's graduated out of ICU. But it's been a really emotional event. But it's so great to see, the families gathering around grandma, auntie, mom, and sharing stories. We were in there laughing last night, every night. We're in there laughing, having a good time. She knows where she's at. She's very cognizant of what stage of her life she's in, and she has been 100% courageous in every step. So it's been, it's kind of eerie to hear your parents talk about transitioning and moving on. Um, but I'm so proud of her for staying true to what she wants, and she stayed steadfast in the things that she wants and how she wants things handled. Uh, the voice, she has a hard time getting her thoughts out, and I think at times that's frustrating for her because she knows what she wants to say. But this is the first time she's ever watched. So my mom is in the hospital right now watching the show. I love you, mom, and I'll see you after the show. After the show, I'm gonna head on over and be there. But this is one of those hard times in life to see. I think that's one of the hardest things that we see is our parents, our elders growing old, right? It's like we talked about that with my dad. It's like seeing Superman lose his cape, right? These are the people you've always depended on. They've always had answers. They've been there for guidance and all those kind of things. And it's a proud moment where the family is able to really, because we're in there talking to the medical people about things that are needed and things that aren't needed, and it's comforting to know that we know what she wants. So as difficult as things are and as hard as times are to navigate, it's nice to know I know that my mom wants this, and
Mm.
that's what we're working for. So um my wife Nicole and my daughter Malia showed up today. I rode up from Sacramento. So I had gone to Fort Bragg on Thursday night, and then I came back to Sacramento. And on Tuesday, I came back up, and I got some amazing time with my niece Emily, who's she's early 20s, right? So you're in that stage where you're grown up, you know what you need. Then there's times where you need, you know what you need and what you're not getting, and those kind of things. It's an amazing moment to share with somebody that's so busy and doing things. And I think that these moments that I'm sharing with family. My aunt is coming from Seattle, so there's a lot of people coming in that I haven't seen in a while and haven't got to share time with. So I'm always in that waste no minutes mode because I see people I haven't seen or haven't got to spend time with. I just look at my time with Emily in the car of 4 hours. She's stuck with the old guy. She's stuck with her uncle. I get to hang out with her and spend time with her. So these are things that I'm just trying to take advantage of, be in the moment, make sure that every minute that we get that we're honoring them. So that's where we're at. I don't know if I'll be here. I worked from uh, right here on the kitchen table. I worked here today. I'll work here tomorrow. I'm not sure how that'll go. I may be here next week at the same show. Um, but that's what my week has been. That's what my weekend has been. And to see, I thought about that as I was missing the gala, and you were there, and we were talking about how to get on social media and those kind of things. I'm like, man, that's an event that I am sorry to miss, but I am where I need to be.
Yeah, it was awesome. But yes, you are where you need to be, and I'm glad you're there with your mom. Your mom has her baby boy with her, so always good to have family around, and I'm glad family is coming in to spend moments with you all, and so
Oh
I'm
my
glad.
gosh, the hospital personnel. So I had a stroke in 2015, and I thought I had the best team of medical personnel and help, and I had a great team. I don't think anybody could be better than the people that helped me then, but the people at the hospital here in town have been, I mean, they're at least as good, if not better, than the people that I had in 2015. Um, they have been friendly, they've been understanding, they take the time to spend with us when we have questions. We sat with one of the people, and she was in the room for an hour just answering questions. Um, Sometimes you get that feeling where they got to rush out, they're talking, and then they're kind of like checking their watch and they need to move on. That lady was in our room for at least an hour just patiently answering all the questions. So the staff at the hospital have been amazing. I'm going to find a way to uh, thank them when we get through all this. But shout out to the crew at the hospital.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, big shout out to the crew at the hospital, and hey, Auntie Dot.
Hi, mom. I'm
So
getting
we
pictures sent to me of her watching the show.
nice. So we have our community announcements, which we can get into and talk about. We have D Tally, who is tuned in on Facebook. My mama is tuned in.
Hi, Auntie.
Epi and D Boy, and of course Emily and Nona and Reno, Liainga, Anwai, who they will be having a showing of the film Next Goal Wins, starring Jaiyah Saelau on November 25th, with which we have on our flyer. I mean, in our community announcements. So we can get to that if you like. If and so yes, I say Reno was on, and he pops right up. We have our community announcements, which usually we try to catch everything that is happening in the Bay Area. And if you send us your flyer, we will talk about it and share it on social media and hear when I jibber jabber. Whenever you're ready, we hit
All
that.
right. So Samoan Solutions, always doing amazing things. They just got done with the gala. Next up on their calendar is the annual Turkey Trot on November 18th at the Brisbane Marina in Brisbane, California. $10 for youths, $15 for teams, and $20 for adults. The fun is all free and it's for everyone who participates. Delicious food and drink will be provided by our very own PBD, and that will be the same price as the fun. It's free. The food is free, so just show up. You're going to get a fun time. The community is going to be there. You're going to get free food. There's going to be, the usual Pacifica vendors there. If you need clothing, you need earrings, you need all those kind of things, come through. Community resources and fitness activities. This is a feel-good holiday community event. Come on out, trot, run, or walk. Just come on out.
Awesome. Next up, PICP brings the private screening of Taika Waititi's latest production, Next Goal Wins, with a meet and greet with the star behind it all, Jaiyah Saelau, happening Saturday, November 25th at 6 p.m. Get your tickets, and they might be sold out. I'm not sure, but go to their Instagram and their Facebook, check out the flyer, and you can check to see if they haven't sold out already, which they were pretty close to sold out. But get on their waiting list. Get on their waiting list if they did sell out.
All right. All My Usos Ray of Light is happening this holiday season. If you're a widow or know someone who could benefit from their support, then we encourage you to apply. Their holiday program aims to provide essential items, treats, and gifts to bring a little cheer and warmth to those who need it most. Click the link in their bio for more information.
Awesome. That's Widows of Light. And then tomorrow, SCDC invites you to mark your calendar for Pacifica Excellence mural reveal. That's happening tomorrow, like I said, from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. At SCDC, which is at 2055 Sunnydale in San Francisco. They've been working on this mural for a very long time. And what I love about it is that the community helped paint this mural. And so I'm excited. It was led by Tracy Williams, who is an amazing artist from the Bay Area. That will be happening tomorrow, like I said, 3 to 5:30 p.m. We will see you there, myself and Timena and my driver, Moses Moley. So look for our pictures, look for us talking to the artist and everyone amazing that will be there.
Awesome. And let's see, SF Hep B Free and SALT proudly present Stop Liver Cancer, an initiative to prevent the spread of liver cancer within our community. They invite you to join them at their free community event hosted at the Pacific Islander Resource Hut, located at 150 Executive Park Boulevard, number 2450. That's Suite 2450. The event will take place November 8th from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. For any inquiries or further information, please do not hesitate to contact Lena at Lena Malier Tulua at sfhepbfree-bayarea.org.
Awesome. So let's see here. We have Reno checking in. Congrats to all our amazing community organizers for providing a plethora of opportunities for our people to stay connected, supported, and engaged. God bless our people today and always. Yes, 100%. I love all the work that you guys are doing. PICP has been doing these last couple of months. I'm gonna look into Samoan Solutions, interesting organization that is Michael Tan. But PICP has been doing a lot of great work in the community this year. This past summer, they had Camp Unity, which we ran for like, I think 8 weeks, and it was geared towards Pacific Islander youth. And they had a lot of vendors come out and entrepreneurs come out and talk to the kids. And my daughter was there teaching one of the classes. She was Miss Evie. I love that when we go places in the community, we'll run into little kids. Like I went to my aunt Leaka's party in Sacramento a couple of months ago, and the little kids that were running around, they came over and were like, Miss Evie. And I was like, oh, so cute. The kids are just all over her. So I love the work that they're doing, just like PIYA has their summer program.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good to see Camp Unity come back strong this year and their fundraiser. And then they also have Atamai Academy, Dance Academy, which is happening. I believe they have a performance coming up soon, and we'll also post that and I'll talk about it. I'll make sure I get the flyer from Reno and then post it up as we wait for our
you want to talk about our bad teams, our teams that were
yes
had a little problems last week. So
oh my god, My Niners were
Niners and Steelers lose, so we'll just get past that. But I
the Steelers.
seem to remember that's two AFC Central teams in a row that the Niners have lost to, and y'all are better teams than those teams. I don't get it,
I don't know.
and I definitely don't like the Bengals or the Browns beating you because they're in our division. But hey, we couldn't take care of business ourselves because we lost. So Steelers lost. There's Jaiyah right there.
Jaiyah girl, come on.
Yeah, well, up soon is right now. That's why we say we're chasing the interview.
Yes,
We're
yes.
chasing our interview. That's Jaiyah logging in right now. But yeah, the it's an odd middle of the season kind of thing where the defense isn't hitting. Steelers continue to have problems on offense. So just rough times right now. Maybe they'll straighten it out. But right now, the Steelers are losing to the Titans 10-7 just before half. So
is there game on now?
Yeah, they're playing the Titans right now.
Yeah.
They're the Thursday night game.
We got killed by the Bengals, like 31-17. Like, what the heck? And then, Mo is such a hater. He's like, well, they shouldn't have got rid of Trey because we could have put him in.
He is a Trey fan. He definitely is a
Trey fan. No doubt about that. So we're just going to, I don't know. I think that's it. That's our last loss for a minute. I'm just saying that I am happy that you guys lost too. So I'm okay there. The Cowboys.
Wait, what? What did you say?
Yeah, you heard me. The Cowboys.
Watch your mouth.
The Cowboys beat the Rams 43-20. 43-20. Like what?
But that's the thing with that in my opinion, the Cowboys, they could beat, like they are so they could lose to the worst team and they could play with the best teams. It's just a matter of which team shows up. So Dak Prescott looks like a world beater one week, and then the next week they can't score a touchdown. But it's everything's leveling out. That's for certain. Things are leveling out. The Niners look like they're going to run away with it. They've come back from the moon, back to the pack, and there's some teams that and that's the Bengals that 2 years away from being a couple plays away from going to the Super Bowl. They looked like that team. They looked like that team against the Niners. They looked elite. So we'll have to see. The Steelers are just trying to beat teams like the Titans right now.
On a good note, I know that the Warriors, they won yesterday. Okay, here we go. Speaking of Niners, got our first Pacific Islander Veterans Day dinner on November 10th, and Jaiyah Saelau is the honored guest speaker. Event is booked out. Man, we could have came to that. November 10th. Awesome. Congratulations to
congratulations.
And please go follow them on social media. Go listen to their podcast. It's a great, great show. Go check them out.
How about that kid for the Rams, Puka Nacua? That kid is killing it this season.
Killing it.
Never wasn't one of those high draft picks like Penei Sewell.
But it never is, right? I mean, it depends, but really, it never is.
You just didn't hear his name. You didn't hear his name. I didn't hear his name in the draft and everything, but he hit the ground running. He's making a big name for himself.
Yeah, and I think they play the Packers next, which go Packers.
We always like seeing. But everybody likes to see, unless you're a Cowboys fan, everybody likes to see the Cowboys lose.
Yeah.
It's like the Dodgers.
Everybody likes to see the Dodgers lose. Sorry, LA, that's how it goes. But NBA season is back. Our Warriors, they have one loss, but they won yesterday by 1 point. I'm trying to find, we were watching the game yesterday, and it was kind of scary to watch, but they won by 1 point, 101-102. They played the Kings. They played the Kings. So,
well, they bent them in the playoffs last year, didn't they? They went 7 games in the playoffs.
Yeah, they won 7 games in the playoffs. So I'm hopefully they're 4-1 right now. So keep going. And then we have Mo, who's such a hater. Did you see what he put? I'm sorry to say it, but there's always next year for everyone because Tua is going to win it all.
What a great story if Tua were to win it, come back after I mean, he had hip surgery. He had all those concussions and everything last year. That scary concussion where his hands were all, he was in convulsions and all this. For him to come back and have the year that he's having is arguably in line for comeback player of the year. But
Well, and then
hopefully he
about to.
stays healthy all year.
Yes, yes. All right. Well, we are ready to go with our guest, our amazing, beautiful, like she is stunning, stunning. And if
That's
you
like a 4-syllable word. Stunning.
stunning, Jaiyah Saelau. Let's bring her on, and I can do a real quick intro.
All right.
Hi.
Hi
You're
everyone.
beautiful. Oh my goodness. I'm like fangirling. I'm so
No.
I'm like, oh my God, can you believe this?
She was sending me videos earlier today. Watch this video. Watch this video. Watch this video.
Oh.
I was like, you're gonna be fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
how flattering. Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Of
We know
course.
like this amazing film that's coming out that is highlighting, a lot of the players, but you're like the star of the show. The next goal wins, and we're excited to have you on and to have Taika Waititi take on and do this remake is like wow, right? And so I'm just I'm fangirling. I've watched everything,
Aw.
every interview, every picture, and I'm sending everything to Carl. And so it's so nice to meet you. And it's an honor to have you here. And, for you to take the time to talk to us is just,
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really admire and take a lot of value in spaces like this, especially when it's either with an indigenous audience or especially with my Pacifica community. So thank you for taking interest
oh,
and
yes. We have tons of people on. Reno Lienga on Hawaii is sending
hi Reno.
and Nona
Hi Lexi.
Sailua.
Hi Nona.
Yes, it's Nona is related to everybody.
Yeah,
So
they were messaging me.
I know, like, and I don't know why I didn't connect the two. And then when I posted the flyer, her and Lexi shared and I go, duh. They're related to everybody, but
Yeah, they're my first cousins.
yeah. So before we get started, I just wanted to let you we know everything about you, but can you tell people that are new to and are going to go out and watch the movie? Like it is the big thing in the Bay Area, because to see Pacifica people that look like us up on the big screen, that's huge for us, especially in America, especially in America. Can you tell us a little bit about where you grew up and how you got to where you're at?
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Jaiyah Saelau. Jaiyah Tawaswi Simia Matiba Saelau. I was born and raised here in American Samoa. I hail from the beautiful village of Leone, but also Fatamafuti and Aunuu. In 2011, I was recognized by FIFA, which is the ruling body of soccer in the world, as the first out transgender person to play in a FIFA-sanctioned tournament. I must say, though, that I am not the first Fa'afafine, as there have been two Fa'afafine before me who do not identify as trans people. So I guess that's why in 2011, while I was going through my transition as a trans woman, it became a thing. And so the platform was created. And coincidentally, at that same tournament that I played in, we made history after winning our first international match. A film crew from Archer's Mark in London came to American Samoa to film what the essence was of football behind American Samoa, because as one of the worst teams in the world, why did we keep producing a national team? And as they were filming, they realized that there were a lot of different characters that could create a very interesting documentary. And so within a day, they flipped the script on us, and it became an actual documentary project for them. And so as athletes, we became more involved with it, and that sort of amplified when the documentary came out in 2014 at the Tribeca Film Festival. It amplified the platform that was created in 2011, and then 2 years later, Taika Waititi took interest. 3 years after that, they started filming in Hawaii. And when I was invited on set, that's where I realized how big of a project it was going to be. And now it's set to release in a couple of weeks nationwide and then internationally in December. So yeah, I'm pretty anxious and excited that our Pacific people are not only celebrated, but a piece of the Samoan culture is being portrayed in the movie, so that audiences around the world can take a piece of our culture with them to their homes and to their communities, and hopefully make the spaces that they are in a lot better. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster. Past few 10 plus years have been a journey. I'm still learning. The whole advocacy thing wasn't really a passion to begin with, but I quickly felt or realized that there's a need for advocacy for trans people around the world, especially in Western societies, and as a Samoan Fa'afafine, there's a way that that our people and our culture can help benefit the trans identity in those societies.
I love it.
Sorry, I tend to blab a lot when
No,
I
no,
Oh,
I
get an
love it.
opportunity.
The
I
more you're talking and the less we're talking, the better.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Can I ask you what inspired you to pursue a career in professional football and what we call soccer?
Yeah.
And how did your passion for the sport develop?
I started playing at a very young age. It was basically the only competitive sport that was offered at the private school that I went to. I went to the South Pacific International Christian Center in Fatamaputi, um, which is also my dad's sister's school. Yeah, that's how small American Samoa is. um, but we were always growing up. We were used to things like the math competition and the science fair, academic competitions like that. But when I was in the sixth grade, the Football Federation of American Samoa introduced an initiative to include a private school league, and so we produced a team, and we won that inaugural tournament, and I was named the island-wide private school league most valuable player. um, and so and the fact that it was a co-ed team at the grassroots level made it a lot more interesting for me. So yeah, it stuck with me. I saw it as an opportunity to pursue something that I loved, and by age 15, I was already drafted for the senior national team, not the under 16 or the under 23 or the under 19, the actual senior national team. So when I got drafted, I was playing with like mid 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds, and
Wow.
yeah, that was the beginning of it. I didn't actually get to start my first match until 2011 when the documentary was filmed. And then in 2019 was when I first captained the national team at the Pacific Games in Samoa.
That's so awesome. That's so
Yeah.
awesome.
It's been a journey of growth and passion, and realizing that this was my calling. Despite being a Fa'afafine and having grown up in a country and in a community, family, even village that's accepting, nurturing of this identity, I was able to pursue this passion comfortably. And we can't say the same for a lot of people around the world.
True. Could you share your personal journey and the challenges you face as a transgender athlete in a male-dominated sports like football or soccer, what we call? Yeah.
So, having been raised in American Samoa, I was very confident in my identity, comfortable playing alongside my teammates who are boys. And so I had it. I don't want to say easy, but easier than most people who are trans people who pursue sports. That was my privilege growing up in a place that's accommodating of people like me. Um, I find myself caught in between two worlds because as a trans person, I fit into the trans women in sport narrative, but I'm also a trans woman who plays on a men's team, so I also fit in the vile conservative narrative where so often I'm used as an example for them. If Jaya can't, or if Jaya can be a trans woman, an out proud trans woman, and play on the men's team, then why can't all trans people, you know? And so I hate that I'm being used as an example for that narrative, but that's the reality of my own experiences. And so um, yeah, I'm still trying to bridge the gap between those two narratives, and a lot of times it's difficult. But I can only speak my own truth, and
Mhm.
and my experiences are more of a testament to my community and my people and my culture, where I basically grew up being comfortable who I am, and was able to pursue a career in soccer. I wasn't introduced to the pressures of having to live feminine comfortably, or the pressures of having to look as passable as possible in order to live a feminine life comfortably in America until I actually moved to Hawaii to attend the University of Hawaii at Hilo. And a lot of times I was exposed to discrimination, and that's when I felt that, you know, because the Fa'afafine identity is an umbrella term in itself, where you don't have to transition to be a Fa'afafine. There are Fa'afafine who still present as masculine, and so I was introduced to the pressures of having to undergo hormone replacement treatment and having to be as passable as possible to live a comfortable life in Western society. So yeah, I transitioned, and it's been a smooth ride so far, only because I fit in on both narratives.
Right, right. It's funny though, like this fell into your lap, right? You didn't think you
Yeah,
would
it
be
was
the spokesperson, um,
exactly.
and
I've,
it just
I've I've never been passionate about advocacy. It wasn't something that I wanted to pursue. All I was a football player who happened to be a trans person in Fa'afafine.
mm,
And because there was only one in the world, and at the time, I felt like, if not me, who else? And
yes.
so, like, people were asking to do interviews, and I was asking to sit on panels and give speeches,
Mhm.
and so it was a learning experience for me, and I'm still learning today.
Yeah.
And clearly, there's a need for it, and I'm proud to be at the helm of it.
Yeah, I think it's also amazing. Like another reason why we do this podcast is to show our kids, that people that look like them, living their passion, telling their truth, because there are people that are um, depressed or just not living their truth, and to see you living, your truth and being passionate, it really does inspire them and force them to be themselves. And so I love
Yeah,
that.
I feel like positive visibility plays a big part in youth finding their courage and their
Yes.
to be themselves, and um, the more positive visibility that they see as children, the more comfortable and confident they are growing up in their own skin, whatever for whatever reason they might feel different. So yeah, we need to see more
Yeah.
diversity in our communities.
Yes, in the historical moment of playing in the Men's World Cup qualifier as the first openly transgender player, what were the emotions and thoughts going through your mind during the game? Or did you even think about that?
No, not at all. And when I did officially be recognized, let me take this off. It's very jingly. When I was first recognized by FIFA, I thought, WTF?
You're fine.
You're fine.
No, that's literally what I thought.
Oh.
I I thought in in the entire existence of FIFA as an organization and with more than 200 member nations, there hasn't been a single Fafafinge or trans person, to reach this level or to be given the opportunity even. And so I thought, I'm young. I come from one of the smallest countries in the world. We're one of the worst, skillfully and technically, we're one of the worst teams in who are FIFA members. So all of those factors played into it made me think or realize WTF, and I started to feel like something was going to come out of it. I didn't know how big of a platform it was going to create, but I did realize that it was going to be a thing. And so here I am, just trying to continue to be that voice for trans folk. But sometimes I feel like I don't have the right to speak on behalf of trans women especially trans women, because they're the ones who receive the most hostility when they try to pursue women's sports. And so I feel like I don't have the right to speak on their behalf or be their voice because that's not my experience. But I do encourage them and commend them for their bravery in venturing into women's sports and trying to live as truthfully as possible to their identities.
I love that. Thank you so much for answering that.
Of course.
Um, Carl, did you?
Lots of questions. First, thanks for being brave with your voice, not just on this show, but being placed in a position or a situation and kind of embracing it. But listening to your story and being thrown into competition with much older people at an early age, being put on the world stage, being the first FIFA player, having a documentary about you, and now a movie by probably, one of the best storytellers in the world, if not the best, but definitely the premier Pacifica voice in Taika Waititi.
Mhm.
Are there times that being all wearing all those hats, having just been thrown into the racetrack at 100 miles an hour at an early age, being an advocate when you're not sure how to be an advocate, there's not like a playbook for being an advocate,
Mhm.
especially from a young age. Do you ever find it, and you do it with such grace and poise and elegance? Do you have moments where you're like, I just need to take a deep breath? And if you do, how do you manage self care? How do you fill your own cup for yourself?
So often. I love that you asked that because a lot of times the journey has been overwhelming, and the bigger the responsibility gets, the more overwhelming it becomes. Um, I guess I just take it one thing at a time, one day at a time, one responsibility at a time. Um, a lot of my strength comes from my people and my culture and my family, having been raised in a family and a culture that's so grounded in uh, strength. Um, things like respect, things like pride. Um, those come to mind every time I feel like I'm being overwhelmed. And then also, what helps is receiving messages from people all around the world, especially youth from all around the world, that find my story and my existence even inspirational. Um, so yeah, there are a lot of things that keep me going, but the truth of the matter is I'm human. I have my moments of weakness, and um, and I feel like sometimes I don't want to do it, but it's a responsibility that I need to keep doing because all I want to do is be a football player and live my truth. But I feel like it's a responsibility that I need to take up, and until someone else can can take on this responsibility as being a trans person who represents their country, I can relax a little. So hurry up, trans people. Come out
It's
and represent your countries because I need a
okay. Get out here. So
It's getting lonely up at the top.
yeah.
I saw an interview that you had done, and you said something, and as I found out that we landed the interview, I was like, man, I hope that she can expand on this. There was a question about how I, I think it was when you were on the national team, and did the boys accept you? And you said something like, I brought so much to the field, like almost your skills transcended. I think, did we lose her? I
oh,
hope not.
oh no, I hear
Oh,
her.
you're okay.
There she goes.
Hello.
Okay. Um, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. It's just
Okay.
no, it's static. Let me mute real quick, and
Okay.
then
Yes,
just a
you
bit.
have to remember, Jaya is tuning in from Samoa, so
Yes.
the connection and the time difference is huge, and we
Hello.
appreciate it. She'll probably come back.
Yeah, she'll
We
probably come
forget
back.
that she's checking in from Samoa, and so the connection may be iffy, like we thought it would be, and the time difference. There's a time difference, and so I know it's afternoon there. And so we're just going to hold on until she comes back. Epi says, sending lots of love. So thankful for all the doors you're opening and barriers you're knocking down for all those who will follow. So proud of you. And that's so true. And then, yes. Oh, Samoa.
Yeah.
Yes.
And but
Oh,
you think
Samoa.
about that, we got like 20 minutes with her that was like
Yeah.
clear, and
And
if we get her
awesome.
back on the show, awesome. If we
We
don't,
don't,
then
yeah.
maybe she gets some extra time for herself and she can, practice some self-care. But I think I just heard the sound, but
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't,
there she
I don't,
goes.
okay.
There
Can
we
you
go.
hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh,
Okay, there
Okay.
you go. So
So
sorry.
that's all right. The question basically that I had was, it seemed like your skills overrode any of your teammates, like the feeling of, oh, it's a Fafafine that's playing with us. She's, your answer was basically, I brought so much to the team with what I could do, that your ability transcended, for the most part, any feelings that they had. Can you talk a little bit about that? Was it that that the soccer and the athletic and the competition kind of thing, just that was really the spirit on the field, and it wasn't so much all the other stuff?
yeah. Um, 2011 wasn't my first time playing for the national team, but it was my first time as an out trans woman. So by then, I was already um, established in the team and in the federation. I've been playing with a lot of my teammates for many years prior. So um, it it truly was because of my skill that I made the national team, and it's basically the only reason anyone gets drafted into the national team is because
Right.
they're good.
Yeah.
Um, so that's what it was for me, and just because I had started my transition in 2011 didn't change any um, it didn't change the way that my teammates treated me, um, nor did it change the way players from other countries saw me or viewed me, because, you know, pretty we're pretty much similar to all the other countries in the Pacific region, where
Mm.
you know, they also have words and responsibilities and roles culturally for, you know, Fa'afafine from their respective countries. Um, so yeah, it's just, that's all it was because I was a good player.
Yeah, I think sometimes sport
Sport.
can, in the sense of competition, we want to win. So my teammate can play.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have my teammate on my team because they're
Yeah,
helping me. They're helping the team win. You know, in competition. I just thought that was an interesting answer that you had given, and I was like, oh yeah, if you're on a team and my teammate can help me win, then get on the field and help us win.
exactly. But it's not the same for a lot of teams, bigger teams in the U.S. even, where like even being gay is like, you know, such a huge deal, and some of your teammates even might not, you know, accept you for who you are, and then it affects the team's chemistry and things like that. I mean, more recently now, gay athletes are more not prevalent, but um, you know, more proud to claim their identities as gay men and lesbian women who are in sports, and they're more proud and out about it.
Right.
Um, it's just, um, I love that they're being made a spectacle of it, but then it's different for us, and because even as a Fafafine who plays soccer, there are so many other Fafafine who play for. We have three on or four on our national volleyball team. So like it's just a normal thing for us here in the islands, whereas it's such a huge deal in Western societies.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass it back to Naki here in a second, but I just wanted to say, before before I turn it back over, um, I'm old. I was born last century in the '60s.
What?
If you would have told me, if there would have been a hey, we're going to have this discussion and discuss things like these out in the open. There's going to be an advocate, all those kind of things in the '70s, '80s, '90s, 2000s. Like I would have thought there was no way that this would happen in my lifetime, and to
Right.
see you out there chasing your passion, being an advocate, sometimes voluntold to be an advocate, not necessarily always voluntarily, but to see you doing what you're doing is really inspirational. And you continue to break ground for the future generations that are going to say, I was born in the 2020s, and there was this girl that was talking about this. So thank you for everything that you're doing, being the voice even in the times that you may not want to be, but you see the responsibility. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. Um, can you share any personal stories or experiences that have inspired and motivated you to keep going and to advocate for what, transgender or
Mhm.
soccer or football or Pacific Islanders?
Right. Um, I think one of the more encouraging places that helped me continue to play the sport is here in American Samoa. To have, even more so now when I do go to Pango, where our main field is to play on the club level with my club team. Kids just come and want to take photos, and and adults even come and congratulate me on everything that's been happening. It's building, not that I'm building a fan base, but just the fact that I'm inspiring the youth, and then being recognized by the community, especially the small soccer community here in American Samoa. And then even more so in the OFC, which is the Oceania Football Confederation, and then globally FIFA, even, where I was asked to be on the cover of FIFA magazine, which is distributed to all 200 plus countries, member countries, and printed in 4 different languages. Um, uh, so things like that, where I'm being recognized by my community, and then the global soccer community as a whole, up to the very highest position, where the president of FIFA himself came to American Samoa and invited me to be a delegate to the FIFA Women's Football Convention earlier this year, where I was um, the only trans person out of 800 delegates who from around the world who were at this convention, to be present, and I was representing trans people. I was representing American Samoa. Um, yeah, things like that. They just make the experience not just rewarding but worth it.
Worth it. Yeah. We have Manufo, who
Hi,
is,
Auntie Fo.
she said, "We love you, Jaiyah. So proud of you, sweetheart, and can't thank you enough for your fearless spirit. Your courage empowers so many. Prayers over you to strengthen you abundantly as you continue journey and represent our communities with such grace and confidence. Your voice is powerful. I
Thank
love,
you.
love, love you." She's
Thank
so
you.
proud. I love that. I think
I can't wait to see them.
we,
PICP
yes,
coming to you
and
soon.
on November 25th. I believe,
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but they could be sold out, but please reach out. There could be a waiting list for people.
Right.
I think it's going to, well, it probably is a sold out event, because whenever we see a Pacific Islander, whether they're a musician or an artist, and then this is huge to
A
see
win
one.
for all of us.
It's a win, like, and then we're so proud, but even though we don't know the person, it's just to see a Pacific Islander, a Samoan woman on the big screen is, it just, it's hard to explain, but I'm so proud. It's like, oh my gosh, someone that is someone and looks like me and looks like my kids. It's
Right.
important for my kids to see someone that looks like them.
That's the cool thing. I
Yes.
think that's one of the coolest things about this movie is a Pacific Islander created it, or is retelling it in his unique way, and more than 90% of the cast and crew were Pacific Islanders based in Hawaii,
Yes.
and they're retelling a story of a Pacific people. So all around, it's a win for us, and
Yes.
I feel
We
like Pacific people are rising up all around.
We always say it's a great time to be a Pacific Islander.
Yeah.
Always say that. We have Reno on. Do you think there's an increase in engagement back home around football, soccer, since this platform has come about? Or how do you feel this visibility has impacted youth sports in Tutuila?
Well, Reno, with the tough questions.
Okay.
Um, um, Statistically, it has. In when we Not because of the documentary or because of the Taika's movie, but because we won our first match in 2011 and history was made.
Yeah.
Um, the youth involvement at the grassroots level the very next year, 2012, tripled. Um, and then it's been on a very steady incline since then, and even more so now with Taika Waititi remaking the documentary. Now the Football Federation is able to offer scholarships to universities for good players, and we're able to afford to recruit a lot of some athletes with Samoan ancestry who are really good at football to come back and play for American Samoa. So a lot of development has happened. It can be slow at times, but it's happening, and
Yes.
it's all a result of 2011.
We love it. We love to see it. We always ask our guests, is there someone that is a role model to you, that has inspired you, and help you get here to where you're at?
Um, I could never pinpoint a single person, because as a Samoan Papafine, um, and I think a lot of us, human beings in general, have different characteristics that make up who we are. And I find inspiration in different people depending on their strengths, in ways or in spaces or in areas of my own life that I need to strengthen. Things like um, Famaoni, which is, mm, I can't pinpoint the exact translation, but my mom is very Famaoni o Yaya Nangaluenga, and
Mm-hmm.
my dad is steadfast in his leadership. I got those two characteristics from them, and one of my oldest sister is very humble in the way that she, um, you know, her mannerisms, and I like to practice that sometimes. I just whatever works for me, I take from different people, and in the sports arena. Cristiano Ronaldo really, really, he's been a huge inspiration to my football career. Not only because he's a beautiful man, but
Oh,
but
hello.
but but more so, he came from nothing and now is at the very top of the world. From the slums of Portugal to working hard to getting to where he's at, because a lot of the big names in football we see now um, were privileged youth,
Mm.
and so that's what stands out to me with Cristiano Ronaldo is that upbringing that it makes him extra special. And yeah.
Awesome. Um, we always have I'm a food person. So what is your favorite um, Polynesian food? What is your favorite whatever?
Um, hmm, I love kaki with so like the may ango that I eat depends on le may I na ingay.
Yeah.
Um, with kaki, I love it with with dry taro.
Ah,
And then with bisupo, I like it with fa'alifukalo. Um, with palusami, I like it with umuulu.
oh,
Yeah, so combinations, different
yeah.
combinations here and there, depending on what you're eating.
Awesome. I know. I'm the only one that talks about food all the time, and so Carl and I eat everything. So um, because of this and your stardom to soccer and then now this movie and then the documentary, what are one of your favorite perks that has come out of all this? Like you're
Oh, geez.
traveling and
Yeah, it's the travel. So as the platform got bigger, like I said, so did the responsibilities, and then so did the perks. um,
yes.
just earlier this year, a couple months ago, um, at a hotel at the president of FIFA's hotel in Sydney, they had a little ceremony to induct me into the FIFA Legend class.
Oh wow.
So things like that have its own perks.
Yeah.
Being in this, like I could be asked by FIFA to do some work anywhere in the world if
Mm.
it aligns with the reason that I became a legend, for LGBTQI plus issues and stuff like that. But also because of the movie has its own perks as well. I get to do this whole tour again, but on a much bigger scale. I did the tour for the documentary, and it was life changing, and I really enjoyed it. But Hollywood is is next level.
Yeah.
The first class traveling, have people wait on you. Um, yeah, even the little things like having a $300 incidental balance at the five-star hotels that you get to stay at.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I was in Hawaii with the incidental balance, and I was like, okay, come on, I was calling up my friends, let's go use this balance. Otherwise, it's gonna go right back to Disney.
We don't want that to happen. You got to use it all up.
Yep.
So awesome. Well,
So yeah, a
we're
lot of
looking
different perks.
we're looking forward to the movie coming to the States. We know November 17th is the big day. We encourage everyone to get out, get to the theaters. Of course, PICP has the event and that you will be at. So we'll come there and actually get to give you a hug. We're excited. We're just so proud of the work that you're doing and that you have done and that you're going to do. Congratulations. We don't want to hold you anymore. We know we've taken up a lot of your time, but we appreciate you. God bless you. Is there any shout outs that you'd like to get out before we let you go?
Shout out to Lexi and Nona, my first cousins, and Cici Vale and cousin Frankie, and then all my Bay Area family, Jazz and Megan. Yeah, everyone.
Awesome.
I'll see you all soon.
Thank you so much
Definitely.
for joining us. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so
Everyone,
much.
be amazing. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you. See you soon.
Yay. Oh my God.
Who booked her? Oh
We
my
had
gosh.
Let me just post that flyer again. This is what's happening November 25th. Next Goal Wins Saturday, November 25th at 6 p.m. It's brought to you by Pacific Islanders Community Partnership. So they're presenting the Next Goal Wins. Please go. Get your tickets, get on their waiting list. And then when the film comes out, go watch the movie. We're so grateful to have Jaiyah here. And you know what? Usually when I email people, I'm like, hey, can we, like, she was so sweet. My first ping. And she's like, of course, no problem. And I was like,
wow.
I love her. There was no fight.
Fan forever.
Yes, I know. Now
She's a friend of the show now.
She's a friend of the show. Well, I'm shot and I'm done and I'm so happy. And please, everyone, please go watch Next Goal Wins with the amazing, beautiful, stunning, beautiful, everything. So thank you so much for tuning in this week. We're here every Thursday. Anything you want to get out before we go?
I love you, Mom. And
Auntie Dot.
Whoever is in room 107 watching, I'll see you in a few minutes. I love you.
Yes, Auntie Dot, God bless you. God bless the nursing staff there and the doctors and everyone in that hospital that lays their hands on my auntie. God bless you. We will see you next Thursday at 6 p.m. Come back to Faika with us.
Love you all.